Hello, thank you for joining us. Agent Orange, perhaps the Vietnam era's most ghastly defoliant, was manufactured here by Diamond Alkali. The company so contaminated its property in Newark's Ironbound and the lower Passaic River that the area was declared among the first Superfund sites. The company changed hands several times, but the legal liability for the cleanup, that's still in question. Brenda Flanagan reports.
One blue crab in Newark Bay has enough dioxin to give somebody cancer.
Environmental advocate Dave Pringle today warned New Jersey lawmakers toxins lurking within the Passaic River sediments can kill you, especially if you eat a blue crab caught there, which signs urge you to avoid. That's why the EPA last March approved a $1.38 billion cleanup plan for the last 8 miles of river bottom, remediation to be paid for by companies that contributed to the toxic soup.
This risk to public health is unacceptable. That is why it is always very frustrating to me that some polluters continue to shirk their responsibilities when it comes to cleaning up the river.
Public outrage over one company's apparent attempt to duck that liability roiled a joint public hearing of the Senate and Assembly Environment Committees. Decades ago in Newark's Ironbound, Diamond Alkali manufactured Agent Orange, leaching the carcinogen dioxin into the river. The plant's now an entombed Superfund site. Meanwhile, Diamond Alkali was bought by Maxis Energy Corp., which in 1995 was bought by YPF, Argentina's state-owned oil company. 3 months after EPA announced the cleanup's price tag, YPF placed Maxis into bankruptcy and backed away from the cleanup, leaving public outrage in its wake.
Spinning off companies, going into bankruptcies. But all of this means that these companies, especially Maxa, does not want to pay for the mess that they made and the poisoning of a river and a community that they did. And that's why it's so critical for the legislature to move forward.
This is a blatant fraud.
Dennis Hart heads the Chemistry Council of New Jersey.
What Maxis and YPF and the government of Argentina is doing is nothing involved in that. They are brazenly and right in everybody's face in New Jersey in this government just walking away from their responsibilities. This is not what bankruptcy was established for.
Senator Bob Smith cited an internal memo from a YPF-connected law firm and charged it deliberately moved assets out of Maxis.
It appears to me that it lays out a plan to divest the assets so that there is an overall scheme to not pay the environmental liabilities. We're trying to stick the taxpayers of New Jersey with an absolutely horrendous cleanup bill for a major Superfund site in this country.
In a statement, YPF stated it never polluted the Passaic River and has been a responsible corporate citizen. Since it purchased Maxis in 1995, YPF has transferred more than $700 million to Maxis that has been spent to fund environmental remediation. And during Maxis's bankruptcy process, has offered to pay more than $130 million in additional funds that would help fund environmental remediation. It does little for longtime Ironbound residents.
We've heard all kinds of stories from the older generations that when they were younger, that they would get to go and swim in the river. And we've never, during our lifetime, ever seen that.
The joint committees also want to send a copy of their resolution to President Trump, who'll be meeting with the president of Argentina later this month. They're hoping some diplomatic pressure might yield positive results. In Lyndhurst, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.